Welcome to today's podcast. Sitting here with Todd Harris and Travis Wilson, and they just recently went up to New York and met with Gary Vee. So we're going to hear what they took from that and everything they learned from Gary Vee. So, Travis Wilson.
Yeah.
Let's hear what you learned from
Thanks,
the man
Corey.
himself.
It was amazing. I think first and foremost, just how genuine he was, stood out from the second he walked into the room. I mean, you just get a vibe from him in regards to, you can just tell he cares about people. Doesn't matter who. He treats everybody the same way, and I think that's something I picked up on right away.
Awesome. Cool. All right. Todd, let's hear from you.
I'll resonate that same idea. Is just genuine. He really wants to see everyone succeed at the highest level if they're willing to put in the work.
That's fair. Yeah, for sure.
Definitely. He definitely talks about that all the time over social media, Instagram and Twitter and Facebook. Travis, what was the one thing that you were looking forward to when you got up there that you wanted to take away? And if you did, what was it?
That's a great question. I think first and foremost, I follow people and follow things and that I believe in. Not to come back to what Todd and I just mentioned, but I was curious to see if it was real life or if it was just a facade. And I think seeing that it was real life it totally sold me on knowing that that's a path that I want to be known for. Because I feel like that. I feel, for me personally, that I'm always trying to help others, and knowing that we have an opportunity now to do it through other platforms, I'm thrilled to death.
Good. That's awesome, man. What about Todd? What was one thing that when you went to New York and met with Gary Vee that you were expecting that you wanted to get from it that you either did or you didn't, get from it?
Yep, I'm going to be totally honest. I was selfish. I just wanted the selfie. But other than the selfie, I wanted to see. I think I really wanted to take away the energy, because you see it in his videos. You watch it on YouTube, Instagrams, everywhere, and I wanted to be able to feel that energy. It's one thing to see it on video,
Sure,
but it's a different when you're in that room with. I mean, it was a small group, 60, 70 people. And to be able to see that, again, that genuineness and that, like you said, I give away my best stuff. I give away the best stuff I have so people will take it and be successful with it. And that's sort of how I feel with, the things, the endeavors that we move in is we want to help people be their absolute best. And to see somebody at that level, I mean, he's running a huge 700-person company. And, I think what really – my biggest takeaway was when he said, I'm not going to do hardly any talks next year. I want to spend 15 minutes with each employee twice a year. That was huge.
Yeah, no, that's definitely fucking awesome. Sorry. So let's transition into kind of what we do at PowerHouse, and we kind of take a feather. I don't know what that means, what that analogy meant.
Feather out of this cap?
Yeah, we took a feather out of his cap. Yeah. We just keep putting out content on what people should be doing and what they need to be doing for their business. And we're not really asking. We don't really sit there and say, hey, swipe up to sign up and do this, right? Because we're trying to give them the value and build the value of what we can provide versus just sell. So is that something that you think works? Because he obviously does it. Like he said, didn't he say that he gives away all of his best stuff for free? Mm-hmm. When you got people like Tony Robbins that $20,000 you can go hang out on their island or whatever in Fiji, or is that's Richard Branson, whatever? That's a big thing.
So I would say yes. I would say that this is going to sound really corny, but I just want to see people be successful. And if I can put a smile on somebody's face, if I can give them the winning formula to something that's really been keeping them up at night when it comes to their business. If we can point them in a direction to help, foster a better culture, a better team environment. That in and of itself gives me chills. And that's with what we're putting together and building here at PowerHouse Marketing. That's what really excites me.
Yeah. All right. What about you, Todd?
I think one of the reasons that we put out so much content is we want people to know they don't know. You know, in a lot of industries, you'll see people say, "Oh, you know, that guy, he's horrible at what he does." Well, is he horrible at what he does, or does he think he's got everything there is and doesn't know any better? Right? And I think it's huge for us to be able to give out the content so that people can realize, oh, I do need to do video. I do need to run Instagram ads or Snapchat ads, or I need to know what my avatar is. Like, people don't know that. They think because they open a business that I'm going to be successful because I bought a franchise or because I opened a business, and that's not always the case.
Yeah, I agree. I think, like, especially with a franchise, I think when you buy into a franchise, most people that buy into franchises come from like a corporate world or a corporate background. They don't have that entrepreneurship mindset anyways. So when they buy from a franchise, everything that the franchise tells them is gold. It's all right. When a lot of the times those people are out of touch, so they kind of don't really know. They don't have their hand on the pulse. So, let's talk about that a little bit of like the mindset that an entrepreneur needs to have, whether it's a small business or it's a multi-million-dollar business, as far as like keeping an open mind on how things are trending and going, because literally every day something new is coming out.
You got to keep your mind a sponge. I had that analogy a long time ago playing basketball, and if you're not willing to grow or try to learn something new every day, then it's going to be a tough road for you, because everything's ever evolving. If you just look at technology in and of itself, it's constantly, by the time you learn something new, there's 10 new things out. And so you have to be willing to stay on top of your game, ask questions, fall down, get up, clean yourself off, get back at it, because that's the only way you're going to be successful.
100%.
I think you always hear the phrase your whole life is you got to spend money to make money, and I think people misunderstand that phrase. Is that they think they got to throw money into advertising and marketing and all these things, and not that you don't. I mean, you obviously you do have to do those things, but if you're an entrepreneur or a solopreneur, I think you've got to spend money to make money means you need to get yourself in the right groups. You may need to be in a mastermind. You may need to go to a personal development course. You need to read some books, because in the entrepreneurship world, you've got to have the right mindset. If you don't have the right mindset, you can only be successful to a certain level. And that spend money to make money is barely spending money on you and making you a better version of yourself every day, so that you can bring that to the people you're working with and to your company.
100%.
Todd, you talk about living and playing in different markets, being affiliated with different organizations. If you're not out networking in your community, if you haven't partnered with your philanthropic association of choice, or you're not networking within your industry, you're not a part of the local
like bureau and stuff like that.
Yeah, chamber. If you're not partnered with the local business journal, all those things, the networking, getting out and doing that, everything comes full circle. That's one of the things that I've probably been most proud about in my life is every job I've had, I've been recruited. I haven't had to go out and look for a job. And that's merely because I learned that in college. And I'm always meeting people. I'm always talking to people, and I'm always trying to connect people. And that's what I think we really enjoy doing here as a team.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I definitely, back to your point, Todd, is of like, that's like if you know how to do something, but someone knows how to do it better, you could probably learn it. You could get as good as that person, but it's gonna, pay that person $1,000 when it would cost you $10,000 to learn it 3 or 4 years down the road. When by the time you get to the point where you're good, it's all changed anyways.
Outdated.
Yeah, it's
Absolutely.
outdated. So it's better to kind of like, delegate and let someone do something that, they're probably more qualified at the time to do, and then,
know what you're good at.
Exactly.
Or
right?
even if it's something that you want to do, it's instead of paying him to do it, I'm going to pay that guy who does it at the highest level to teach me that.
Exactly.
As opposed to, I'm going to spend the next 4 years trying to figure it out. No, I'm going to get it over a 2-day course or a 4-day course.
Yep. That's smart. Okay, so if there's one thing for all these entrepreneurs listening that they need or they should take away from your guys' discussion with Gary Vee, what would it be? Go ahead, Travis.
Don't give a shit what other people think. I think I've watched plenty of his videos, and he said it when he was up there. He talked to a couple of the people from the audience, and it was, don't care what other people think. Like, it's not about what they think, it's about what you think. It's about you getting up every day, to what Todd mentioned earlier, and showing up as the best version of yourself, you making the choices to be happy, and go out and tackle the world. Like if you put in the sweat and tears, it'll get there. You just can't quit. And along the way, people are going to try to knock you down. You know, your circle of influence is gonna shrink. It's gonna get bigger. It's gonna shrink again, just like you as an individual and waking up every day to grow. You know, same thing's gonna happen with all the different circles that you run in, and just, you know, being you.
Todd?
You know, the one thing I say that really hit me is every business, whether it be a small business or big business, needs to be a media company. They've got to put content out all the time, whether it be on Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter, LinkedIn. You've got to be consistently putting content out for people to be able to watch and see what you're really about all the time.
So I'm Corey.
I'm Todd.
I'm Travis
From PowerHouse Marketing. See you next time.
Travis Wilson here with PowerHouse Marketing. Really hope you all enjoyed that today and were able to benefit from it. Please, if you know someone out there, like a loved one or a good friend that could use this, please share it. Until next time, take care.